Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today on TIP International Radio. I'm your host, Leah Maston. We are showcasing prestigious top professionals from all industries all over the globe to share their experience and stories of success. We have a very special guest joining us today who is a world-renowned top healthcare executive who is widely known for her passion in healthcare, sought-after speaker, coach, and trainer. She was just recently honored at the International Association of Top Professionals IAOTP Annual Awards Gala at the Bellagio Hotel for her selection as Top Healthcare Executive of the Year and Empowered Woman of the Year Award. Executive Director of the John Maxwell Team and Senior Director of Practice Integrations for U.S. Anesthesia Partners, Inc. Everyone, please welcome Miss Carolyn Rubin. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we are so honored to have you on the show. So,
I'm
Carolyn,
excited.
you have dedicated over 25 years of your life to the healthcare and business industry. Tell me what first got you started in this industry. Was it always a field you were interested in?
Actually, no. When I was in high school, I actually wanted to be a teacher. I loved training. I loved helping others out. I loved, just all the aspects of just mentoring people. My granddad, who was my biggest mentor in my life, he was an entrepreneur.
Wow.
He had real estate. He was in a bluegrass band, and I really started out selling real estate. I had my own restaurant.
Right.
Just really had a great thing going there. Never thought I would get into healthcare, actually. What drove me to healthcare was my family. I became a caregiver for them. My stepdad had 5-way bypass surgery.
Oh, wow.
I had several family members that ended up with cancer. So I turned to healthcare. I became a certified pharmacy technician. I went back to school and became a certified medical assistant and was working in the hospital setting as well as urgent care and was taking care of them and started becoming an instructor at the colleges that I went to school at. Was an instructor with other medical assisting programs, and then became a certified instructor with the AAPC and opened up my own coding certification program at a community college. And just turned to the oncology field at that point. So I was working in oncology for over 20 years.
Wow.
And during that time, I was also an instructor and a mentor and a caregiver for my family. And I've enjoyed all 25 years of healthcare. I never thought I would end up here,
Right.
but I did, and very happy that I did.
It seems like the right path found you.
It did, in an unusual way, but
Yeah.
loving every minute of it.
Well, that's wonderful. So you're a sought-after speaker, coach, and trainer. Tell me about your experience with that, and what are some topics that you share with the world?
So like I said, I love mentoring, love speaking, love training. When I got into the oncology world and I was working with several organizations, they just started taking me on tours. I mean, I was all over the United States, it seemed like, but there was a lot of new guidelines that were coming out at that point in time. Physicians went to school to practice medicine. They never went to school to understand the politics behind medicine. And about 93, 94, that's when all of the guidelines came out around documentation and coding and all of the changes. And so I was working with physicians and helping them understand what they had to do with those guidelines and started up Medicare roundtables so they would, just be able to understand what they needed to do, how they needed to navigate those guidelines, and really was working with physicians clear across the country, just getting them familiarized with all of the changes that they were going to be seeing as we continued down the path of healthcare. I worked with multiple organizations, multiple insurance companies, and eventually just was on the circuit with all the different conferences. And then I found myself just helping across with, there was webinars, and then there was audio conferences, and then there was training conferences, and it just grew. I mean, it just became one of the things that I just did along with my day job, so I was working in the offices, and then on the weekends I would go to the conferences. And eventually I became a certified speaker and coach with John Maxwell, and just continue to mentor and train as I go. Wherever I go, it seems like now I'm doing operational excellence and transformational leadership training as well. And that's kind of where I've geared and steered to at this point in time. Is just really bringing those pieces to different companies and practices that are trying to just change and get through this pandemic at this time.
Right. So, well, you have just a wealth of experience in your field. So what would be some advice that you would give to someone just starting out in your industry?
The first thing that I always tell everyone is you have to love what you do.
Yeah.
And you have to have the desire to listen and to learn, and you have to want to grow. I learn something new every single day. I've been in this field for 25 years, but I'm still continually learning. There's so many things that are going on, and it's never the same. I mean, every single day there's a new challenge that comes up. There's something new that we have to try to tackle, or something that we have to try to figure out together. And it's just having that willingness to be able to grow and to just say, I don't know the answer, but I'll figure it out.
Right.
But it's also understanding that, you're a team. Healthcare is not something you can do on your own. There is no I in healthcare. It is definitely a team approach, and it's definitely a team experience, and it's just something that if you go into it, you have to have your eyes wide open and know that you have to embrace every single day. It's always amazing to me every day when the news comes on, or a physician will walk into my office, and some of the challenges that they deal with. I come home and I had an easy day. No matter what I had to deal with, their day was 10 times harder. So it's just understanding what healthcare is, and knowing that, there's always an ever-changing world that's out there, and we always have new challenges every single day.
Yeah, that's some great advice for your industry, especially given the current situation.
Yeah, and it is.
The front lines are like for the people you're working with on a daily basis.
Oh, exactly, and and I'm so thankful for every single one of them, because I mean, they keep us safe, and and I tell my docs thank you every single day. The physicians that and the CRNAs and everyone that I work with. Without them, I mean, the patients, what would they be doing? And, what would we be doing? So they put their life on the line every day. They go out there. They're just as, I'm just as thankful for them as I am for the firefighters and the police department and everybody else, that we have. But
right.
There's just it's an ever-changing world right now, and it's craziness, but we continue to learn daily with what we're doing. Mm. And you have to love it, because if you don't, you would just go absolutely insane.
I love that bit of advice as well. You have to love what you do. That's one that a lot of people who I interview will always say is love what you do, be passionate. Otherwise it's, Well, throughout your illustrious career, you've won numerous awards, honors, and featured in magazines worldwide. This past year, you were honored at IAOTP's annual awards gala at the Bellagio Hotel for your selection as Top Healthcare Executive of the Year and for the Empowered Woman Award. This year, you will be featured in the famous Reuters building in Times Square and grace the front cover of Tip magazine, and will be honored at the New York City Plaza Hotel in December to receive IAOTP's Top Healthcare Executive of the Decade Award. Congratulations. That is quite amazing. What would you say has been the highlight of your career or most memorable experience that you've had to date?
Well, first, thank you for the congratulations. It truly is an honor to receive these recognitions. And I'll tell you, each and every time I receive an honor or recognition, it's like the very first time. So it's always so exciting, to get the phone call or to get the recognition. I sat and I was trying to kind of think of that last night and even, this last week, the most memorable experience and the highlights. And, I have to say that probably the most memorable experience is really the people that I've met, the friends that I've made through all of these experiences, because you just never forget them.
Right.
They've really made those experiences worthwhile. They've brought my probably my healthcare experience to life. Because you go to work every day and you don't think anything about it. You don't think about, how am I going to make an impression on somebody? How am I going to, impress someone to the point where I'm going to win an award? That's not what you set out to do. And I've never set out to do that. I've just set out to do the best that I can do and to take care of the people that are out there doing their best to take care of patients. So to be honored and to be recognized it humbles me to know that I've made that impression. And the individuals that I've met during all of this, that's the most memorable to me. To be able to still reach out to them and to visit with them and to have them, contact me and say, hey, how are you doing? Or to have them, send me a congratulations or to just check in on me every now and then. Those are the ones that, those are the memories that are the most memorable. I guess the experiences that are most memorable for me. That and to be able to share it with my mom and my family, and to just see their eyes light up.
Yeah.
Every time I call my mom, she's like almost in tears and, and she's calling her friends and, so that itself as well. I mean, I grew up in a family of 6 kids and we were in a little bitty town and on a farm. And so for my mom, it was just something that, she just never thought she'd see her daughter on a billboard in New York.
Right.
So.
The Reuters in Times Square, New York City. She's probably like, what? It's amazing.
So for her, it was, it was a pretty exciting thing when I told her this was be happening. So, but it's just the recognition itself, but just all the friends and the people. That's the most memorable.
Absolutely. So I know you work all the time, but when you're not working, I know that you have some hobbies. What do you like to do for fun?
We love to travel. So my husband and I like to travel and go see places. We love to do international travel when we're allowed. I know. We had a trip to France scheduled this year. We'll make it up. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
But no, we love to do international travel. We have 10 grandbabies between the two of us. So, we spend a lot of time traveling to go see all of them as well because they're spread around the states.
Okay. So, yeah. You're
They literally live on the East Coast, the West Coast, and then the Midwest. So we're very busy trying to get around to all of
That'll
them.
keep you moving.
Yes, it does. Love to go out for walks and and go dancing, but it keeps us busy.
Definitely. Well, hopefully all of this will pass and you can get back to your vacation that you had planned in France.
That's exactly right. Yes.
That'll be the cherry on top of all of this that we've had to endure.
Yes. Right now our vacation is New York and maybe Key West.
That's not a bad second either, but
we love New York. So we've been there a few times. So we're looking forward to going back.
Oh, good. Well, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
So looking back, what would you say that you attribute your success to?
Two people in my life. Well, there's many, but my grandpa, who, like I said, is my mentor.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost him to cancer, but he was my mentor since I was, like my grandpa used to say, knee high to a duck. But he would, we spent a lot of time talking, and when my grandpa was ill and we would just have conversations. And the one thing my grandpa said to me that I live by every day, have since the time he told me, was when you go to work, you walk through the door with the eyes of a patient. And if you do that, you will always be successful. And I live by that daily. Yeah. Because you have to put yourself in other people's shoes. And so, that's what life is all about. You have to stop and think about what the other person is going through. Yeah. And what the other person is dealing with, especially in healthcare. I mean, you just can't, it's about them at that point in time. It's not about you, it's about them. And Absolutely. So I live by his words daily. I mean, because that's truly what gets, what it's all about.
Focuses, resets.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's, it makes you stop and think, and when you watch, like I said, I was in oncology for 20 years, and then now I'm just kind of do a little bit of everything. But, when you work with those patients and you're with those patients on a daily basis, they go through a lot, and, they're dealing with something that hopefully you don't ever have to, but, you've got to put the focus on them. And that was his advice to me, and it's something that I deal with and or live by, I should say, every single day. The other person is my mom, who's been my strength. She's my rock, and now I'm hers. As I'm call her, and we talk a lot. But like I said, I was the second of 6 kids. We've lost 2. I've lost a brother and a sister, who were my sister was 10 months older than me. My brother was a year younger than me. So we've had some, tragedies there, but we've gone through it. We've lived through it and everything. But in a little bitty town that I grew up, it's a little bitty farm country, but we worked together. We worked hard. We lived on a farm. We got up at 5:30 in the morning. We worked until, we got things done. Yeah. But that instilled a value in me that I still have today. And that value is you work until you get things done, and you're accountable for you, and you're accountable for your work, and you're accountable for what you want to be and what you make of yourself. It's not up to someone else to do that for you. It's not up to someone else to make you who you are. You have to decide what type of person you want to be and what you want to do with your life. And you have to decide how you want to help others and how you want to, be that support for others. And, she's always been that way, and she instilled that in me. And, and that's, and who I am today is a lot of who my mother is. And, I owe that to her as well. And so, between my grandpa and my mom, they were my mentors, they were my rocks. And I'm now my mom's rock, and will continue to be so. But it's why I have the drive that I have. It's why I have the desire, I guess, to just be that support for others, and to mentor others, and to really, help them along the way. Nothing gives me more gratitude than to watch others grow. Mm-hmm. And if I can have just a little bit of knowing that they're successful because I was able to help them along the way, whether it was advice I gave them, or a class that they took, or maybe they came to a session I gave at a conference. If they were, there's so many times I'll get a note or an email that says, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but," and just that little bit, to know that you had something to do with their success.
Yeah.
It's just, it just goes so far. And, I still have my students that will reach out and let me know how they're doing. I have individuals that I mentored today that, matter of fact, I've got a gentleman, he was the very first person that I mentored after I got my certification from John Maxwell. And he got married, he has a little baby now, but he reaches out and he'll, let me know what's going on. And it's so exciting to watch them grow, and he was struggling trying to sell his first insurance policy because he was new and just couldn't figure it all out. So, we kind of worked through that communication gap and stuff, and he's doing so great. And I see him on LinkedIn, and every now and again he'll shoot me a note, it's wonderful. And, so it's just having that little bit of, just that little bit of knowledge to just know that, you were able just to contribute something to,
you're making an impact
to help someone. It's just, it's just great. So, I wouldn't change anything. If anything, I just continue to do what I do and to continue to grow. And, I keep learning, I just keep going after more and trying to contribute more, but it's what life's all about. You have to contribute. You have to just, if I can, contribute a little bit of knowledge to someone or a little bit of happiness to someone, that's what it's all about.
Well, you are absolutely amazing, inspirational. We're so lucky to have you doing the work that you're doing, making the impacts you're making. I'm just so feel privileged to have had a chance to chat with you today and have you on this show, because all these awards and recognitions are absolutely 100% dead on, and you deserve every single one of them for everything that you do. So we're thrilled to have you. And just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Leah. I appreciate being on the show, and thank you for your time. It was great visiting with you, and I really...
And please, for more information on Carolyn, you can visit her page on LinkedIn or at www.iaotp.com's website.